I love the way you keep helping us think differently about that.
Mhm.
If you were to have a net revenue retention problem and executive leadership was saying, we got to figure this out. And somebody says, we got to do in-depth research with our customers. We got to talk to our customers. We got to figure this out. Nobody would bat an eye. If
Yep.
somebody said, we got a net revenue retention problem, I want to go talk to our agents. There might be dead silence in the room. They're the ones that are having daily conversations. This is what I'm taking away from this.
Yep.
So it is the absolute next best thing. They're having conversations widespread. Any research with customers is going to be a slice. But your agents, if you can capture that knowledge, are having continual conversations. When you said refinement, I'm thinking they're the refinement megaphone from the customers.
They are the voice of your customer, because you have all of these customer listening posts. You have the CSAT surveys, you have your NPS survey, you have all of your view sites that are out there. You have all of these areas, customer segment or sentiment. You have all these areas where we spend a lot of time as leaders trying to understand the reality. You know what? If I have an agent that's talking to 50 to 75 customers per day, they're going to have a pretty good understanding of what happens in those phone calls and what's reoccurring and what's not reoccurring. And so I think that when you look at change, you look at trying to put a gauge in place to figure out, hey, what risks do we have? What are the challenges? It has to start with the agents. And in order to do that, you have to make sure that your agents are enabled. And by enabled, I don't mean I'll give you a discount for this, discount for that. That's a good thing. Are they trained properly? Are you recruiting for the right level of agent? Do they have the right mindset to be able to do that? And I think that and spending time with the agent is absolutely critical to any type of a contact center success. Because once you get to that point, you can then start monetizing the operation. But if your level of support is just, hey, you know what, we're just here to answer phones, that type of thing, it's a necessary evil, it's a necessary cost. It doesn't work that way anymore. There has to be the value and there has to be the driver there to make sure that everybody up and down understands what the value is that contact center is providing to the business. And it's not just providing support, because you can actually correlate the level of experience to renewals. If it's a renewal company or it has a software renewal component to it, you can factor in those experiences with your contact center with repeat purchases. You have the data that you can utilize, but it all comes back to the experience that they have. I've had customers, and I'll give you one example of this, is when I was with Avalara very early days, we had a complete system outage. All of our servers went down. None of our customers could calculate tax. So the first thing I did is I personally jumped on the phone and started calling our big customers. I had everybody else. We tried to be as proactive as possible. It just so happened that we had an NPS survey that went out about a week afterwards.
Oh, geez.
And so we all know that NPS is really based off of single experience or that. But guess what happened? Our approach, we actually saw our NPS increase then, even though we had a complete system outage a week prior. And I think the reason for that is because of the approach, because of the enabling them, and because of the way that we engaged with the agents to let them know what was going on. We were very transparent and gave them the authority to be transparent to the customers. And so I think that's a big piece of it, is that as well. The transparency, the communication, is all a part of that humanistic approach that I talked about.